Good evening, Papua New Guinea, and welcome to another exciting edition of Trukai's Sports Scene. We've got a great show on tonight, and we've got a few special guests joining us tonight to talk about soccer, the OFC Championships that are happening over there in, of course, our good friends over there in Solomon Islands. And we've also got a special guest joining us to talk about rugby later on in the show, of course, the National Championships that happened over the weekend. Also, we're featuring in our sporting briefs this week women's national snooker titles, the Hebo Shield Cricket, Capital Rugby Union from the weekend, Digicel Cup, NRL and Super 15s Rugby. So let's get straight into it. Here's a look at the sporting briefs from the weekend.
On the sports briefs this week, PNG in their first match at the OFC qualifiers went down to Solomon Islands 1-0 and today lost to New Zealand 2-1. PNG will play Fiji in their next match. In the women's national snooker titles, Gewa John added her 7th trophy, taking the title for yet another year. To cricket and the Dulux Championships in Madang saw Madang Tech beat Jomba. Eric Owen was named player of the championships. In the women's, Madang Technical College had a 6-wicket victory over Remington Technologies. On Saturday, the Hebo Shield tournament was launched. The first match was between Brian Bell Bulldogs and Digara Diggers. Brian Bell Bulldogs won by 9 wickets, and in the following match, Air Niugini Jets beat Hebo Hammers by 8 wickets. In the PNG Sevens in Lae, West New Britain took out the major title, beating host Lae 40-12. In the Digicel Cup, Eagles defeated Tigers 12 points to 10, Sapeas defeated Lions 22-16, Miox defeated Muruks 34-10, and Gurias beat the Vipers 18-12. In the NRL, Broncos defeated the Knights 50-24, Storm beat the Warriors 22-12, Bulldogs beat the Rabbitohs 23-18, Tigers thrashed the Raiders 40 points to 0, Titans beat the Cowboys 28-12, and the Dragons went down to Sea Eagles 20-8. The Storm currently lead the ladder on 24 points, and Cowboys round off the top 8 on 14. To Super 15 Rugby, Crusaders beat the Highlanders 51 points to 18. The Rebels went down to Brumbies 27-19. The Chiefs beat the Blues 41-34. Hurricanes defeated Waratahs 33-12. Lions beat the Sharks 38-28. And Stormers beat Bulls 19-14. On bye were Cheetahs, Western Force and the Reds. Chiefs currently lead the ladder on 58 points.
Yeah, big thank you to Murray Sakumai for compiling the sporting briefs from the week. Looking at some of the results from the weekend, and of course NRL, everybody's favorite game, and we've got a new top 8 at the moment. Storm, Broncos, Bulldogs, Tigers, Sea Eagles, Sharks, Rabbitohs and Cowboys making up the top 8 in the NRL. In the Rugby Union, some big results over the weekend. The Crusaders 51 over the Highlanders 18. The Melbourne Rebels went down to the Brumbies 27 points to 19 in the Australian Conference. And in the South African Conference, I think the match of the round was the match between Lions and the Sharks, where the Lions got up 38 points to 28. Okay, we go to our first break of the night. On the other side of the break, we come back and chat soccer with our special guest for tonight, John Davani. Welcome back to Trukai Sports Scene. Now it's time to talk about soccer, as we alluded to before the break, and of course the OFC World Qualifiers, which are happening over there in Honiara. And we're joined in Sports Scene by our good friend John Davani. JD, how are you tonight?
Good. I'm very well. I'm though not quite comfortable with what's happening in Honiara.
Yeah, I know. We've unfortunately gone down in both matches. JD, what do you think? Were we expected to win any of those matches?
No, I saw the boys before they left, and they were confident, and were looking forward to the New Zealand game before they left. Yeah, the boys were in high spirit, and they trained very well. 2 weeks in Lae and 2 weeks in Gold Coast before they went to Honiara, a week there before the game. So, but the first game, as Frank said, the coach said, first game is always a nerve game for most teams. And especially when you are up against a hot favorite in New Zealand. And so I thought We considered a cheap goal in that one.
Yeah.
The very first 6 minutes, 5 minutes, when you start nervously.
Yeah,
Good teams.
That's our
always,
first game
Yeah.
against Solomon Islands, and they
Oh,
scored.
Solomon Islands,
Yeah, they
yeah.
scored against us in the first 6 minutes. When we're going over there, and it's a big crowd over there in Honiara, obviously a vocal home crowd. How important is it to start strong in a game like that for PNG?
Always important to start strong. Win your first game, because then you get your nerves settled for the coming games. Unfortunately, we were up against the home crowd in the very first game, and as we know, Solomon Islanders are very fanatic about their football. They sleep and eat football, so especially those in Honiara. Given the crowd, in fact, they talked about the head of delegation, John Capinato, did, and Mrs. Capinato did warn them about the crowd there, because it's a home game for Solomon Islands team. So they did warn them before they went, and so considering a quick goal in the first 5-6 minutes,
Really put them on the back foot.
Yeah, you started. Things started nervously, and unfortunately, Upaiga is, in my books, one of the best defenders in the country. The goal came through on that side, but and Totori, Solomon Islanders' top striker, played most of his young football in New Zealand, so he had that experience.
It was a very good goal. I mean, he snuck that in maybe a 40-centimeter space, but he found the back of the net, and the rest was history.
Yeah, I mean, acute angle, and good strikers do that. Yeah, you have to make use of those chances you get.
From what you saw in the Solomon Islands game, were we playing maybe a defensive structure, or were we looking to be on the offense from the position?
I thought I'm not sure if it's defensive, but I thought we played very conservatively. We didn't attack as quickly as we should have. And as I said, probably they were a bit nervous, given the crowd, I guess. Yeah. So I thought, for me, it was a bit conservative. We were not that offensive, but maybe as you said, maybe the quick goal may have offset their plans.
Yeah,
so they probably didn't attack as much as they would have liked. Tried to keep the scoreline to 1-0 and then see what happens towards the end of the game. Yeah.
Today we played against New Zealand, and of course, New Zealand, for those of you who don't know, made it to the World Cup. In the last World Cup, they were the only team that was undefeated over there, and it was a pretty gallant effort by our boys. We actually got a goal in that game. We lost 2-1 today. What did you think of today's game, JD?
I didn't watch the first half. I did watch about 40 minutes of the second half, and saw the second goal. I thought it was a cheap goal too. Poor defensive marking. We covered the guy with the ball, but not a 3-man running down. So when the ball went across, it opened the goalkeeper and the goal mark. So a simple goal for the second goal. But the first goal, I saw it in the replay, was a good goal. I mean, those kind of crosses are nightmare for defenders and goalkeepers here. So I thought the first goal was okay, but not the second one. Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, I think we were our own enemies for the second half that I saw. We had all those chances to put away at least a goal. And I thought we should have also got a free kick, a penalty. The first one that Michael Foster got pushed for, as the commentator said, any other referee would have given a penalty for that. So we should have got 2 goals through penalty, so it would have been 2-2 at the end of the day.
I thought Michael Foster was outstanding.
Oh, yeah, he played very well, played very well. David Muta as usual. And Upaiga today too was very good. The second half I watched. So yes, Michael Foster was outstanding.
So what do we need to do? We've lost 2 games. Does that mean we're out, or are we now waiting for other results?
Depending, we made very bleak chance, but Solomon Islands have won a game. Depending on how Fiji goes against Solomon Islands. If Fiji wins, then whether we win against Solomon or Islands or not, may not make a difference. I mean, who's our last game? Fiji. Whether we win against Fiji or not, it will now go down to goal difference.
So what are our chances against Fiji? How have we gone in the
Well,
past?
given how they played it today in the second half against New Zealand, we have a chance here. We have a chance
Fiji,
of it.
I watched them play. They're very physical. They got big tall boys and they move around. What does PNG have to do to get on top of Fiji?
It's to put pressure on them, move the ball quickly, and hopefully their big body tires towards the end.
Yep.
We have a very versatile midfield, and Kemajek can put pressure up front. He can match the Tawaran Fijians, so he's got good build. So him, Reg, and who was the other striker today? They well-built guys, so they can match Fiji in height and strength. But we need to move the ball quickly.
I know a facet of Kema's game is that through ball that they put in front of him and allow him to chase. I thought they were trying to get him to play one-on-one a bit too much. I think Kema is most effective when he's using his flair, put the ball in front and let him chase it. Because he does, he's got almost like a 90% strike rate when it's just him and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, one-on-one, that's, or through balls, Kema is good at. But as you said, he probably struggles with wall passing and one-to-one as we say in soccer. Yeah, that probably is not his skills level. But to give him through balls, one-on-one, he's a dangerous man. But I believe the boys, if they play the way they played today, especially the second half against New Zealand that I watched, I'm sure they will beat Fiji. And they can beat Fiji,
Awesome stuff. JD, thanks very much for joining us at short notice, and all the best for the team this weekend. I'm sure you'd be supporting like the rest of the country.
Yes, I will be. I'll try and sneak out to watch a bit of it. Yes. Thanks for having me.
Okay, there you go. John Devani talking about the OFC World Qualifiers that are happening in Honiara. We go to a break now. On the other side, we come back and talk rugby that happened over the weekend with assistant coach of the PNG team, Alan Manning.